Hey there, how are you doing? Yes, I'm talking to you. Can I have 10 minutes of your time, please? You see, one of the most important things for a programmer or a developer is to have control over his program, is to have control over the development he or she is undertaking. And the primary ways to have control over your program is through control flow. Today we are going to talk about control flow in Python. I am Saurav Agarwal, you are watching Datahat. Every week we simplify a concept on data science. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe to never miss a video. So what does control flow mean? Control flow basically means the way or the sequence in which the statements in a program shall be executed. Which statement shall be executed next after the execution of the current statement. That is what the control flow decides. There are primarily three techniques for managing control flow in Python. The first are the conditional statements using if, elif, else. Second are the loops using the for loop and the while loop. And third is using the functions. In this video, we are going to talk about the control flow using the conditional statements if, elif and else. Now, I have a question for you. If we can achieve the same results using multiple if statements, why does Python have if, elif and else, the additional elif and else constructs or commands in Python? We shall answer this question towards the end of the video, so make sure you stay tuned and watch the video till the end. If you know the answer, let me know in the comments. Now let's get started. The underlying idea behind conditional commands is to evaluate the conditions, and if the condition is true, perform a set of tasks, say task set A, and if the condition is false, perform another set of tasks, say task set B, right? Python uses if-elif-else construct in order to evaluate conditional statements. Let us take a program to understand the construct and the syntactical structure. Help Ravi complete his assignment. Write a program in Python to display the grade of a student based on the below conditions. So we have multiple conditions specified here. If the AGG is greater than or equal to 80, then the grade shall be printed as A. If the AGG lies between 80 and 60, grade shall be printed as B, C and F and so forth. Okay. Now what is AGG? AGG is the average marks of three subjects: maths, English, science, which are taken as input from the user. Let us quickly head over to the VS Code and evaluate this program. Okay. So we shall first take the input of the three subjects: maths, English and science. You know how to take an input in Python. We already talked about it in another video when we talked of input output in Python. If you haven't checked it, go ahead and check it out. We shall use map int. We shall take input dot split. Okay, and we shall pass the message: enter the marks of maths, English and science. Okay, let me quickly now add the constructs. Okay, so how do we write conditional statements? Using if. So if is a mandatory function, mandatory command or keyword that you need to use. Else if and else are optional. You can, if there is only one condition, you do not need to specify the else if and else part. So if, let us first compute the aggregate AGG. Okay, so to compute the AGG, we sum this up and we take the average. Since there are three subjects, we divide it by 3. Now if AGG is greater than or equal to 80, then print A. Okay, elif, right? Elif AGG greater than 60, and this is how we write the conditions. Okay, just follow the construct as I am specifying here. Less than 80, here it should be greater than or equal to 60. Okay, greater than or equal to 60, then and less than 80, then we will print B. Elif, see, I'm using a multiple elif conditions. The same we can do with multiple if statements. The question that I asked you, right? We shall evaluate that at the end, that why we are using if elif part and not multiple if. Okay, now if AGG greater than 40 and AGG less than 60, again here it will be greater than equal to 40 and less than 60. Print C. Now see, we got the AGG could be greater than 80, less than 60. We are seeing that these are mutually exclusive conditions. So the final condition here can be directly specified using else, because all other conditions are already satisfied. You do not have any more conditions left. If the conditions are not mutually exclusive or the conditions are overlapping in a sense, then you would have to specify elif instead of else. Right? Now you are understanding when all other conditions are met, and if none of those conditions are true, what do you want to print? You want to print or you want to execute this final statement. Okay. This is the use of else. Now let us evaluate this quickly. Let me give the path module 6 and the name of the file is if-else.py. It is asking the marks of 3 subjects. Let me enter 40, 79, 99. Okay, these are random marks. Okay, it is printing B. Why? Let us also print the aggregate to make things simpler for you, to help you understand. Print AGG, and I will give a new line here. As you practice programs, right, you get more familiar with it, you get more used to it, and you have greater confidence in writing programs by yourself. So just whenever I am teaching you, whenever you are following a lecture, I advise you to open your laptop and start working with me. Okay, that will help you have a better understanding. Again, I will take the same numbers. See, the aggregate is 72.66. Now 72.66 is less than 80 and greater than equal to 60, so it is printing B. Let me take some other example, say 69, 89, 80, 80. Again, the aggregate is 76, so it is printing B. If I take a lower number, say 37, 12, 10, it will print F because the aggregate is less than 40. So this is how if-elif-else works in Python. Now we shall see some additional variations of it. If you want to execute if-elif in a single line, if you want to execute a multi-line or nested if-elif. A single or inline conditional statement works when you have only one condition. Okay, let me quickly write in our notepad. Marks as a variable, marks as 70. If marks is greater than 70, then assign A as pass, or say greater than 40. Okay, that will be more useful. Greater than equal to 40, else A is fail. Now in VS Code you can write the same program as this. Okay, there are two ways to write the same program. Let me comment out the other section. What we want to do is, if first of all marks, let me take it as a defined value of say 56. If marks is greater than equal to 40, this is the condition, then A is equals to pass, else A equal to fail. You see, we have only one condition, so simply using if and else works. Elif is used when we want to specify additional conditions, right? We had one condition, we wanted more conditions to be included, so we used elif. Elif is the shorthand notation of else if. Okay. Now the same can also be written as, let me print here A. Now the same can also be written as A is equals to pass if marks greater than equal to 40, else fail. In both the conditions you will see the results are same. Re-execute it, you see it is printing pass and pass. So these are the ways in which you can write an inline conditional statement, but this works only when you have one condition to evaluate. In case of multiple conditions you have to write it in this elaborated manner only. Now we shall see if we are to write a nested if-else condition. Now let us quickly check an example. If the age is above a certain threshold, we will check if the person has disability or not, and then based on that we shall evaluate a certain condition whether to okay. So how do we do that? If age greater than equal to 18, then we will check for additional condition if. This is how you are writing a nested if-else condition. See, the first if starts here, the second if is with an indented expression. Okay, there is an indentation instead starting. If disability is equals to true, then we shall, sorry, equal to this will be a equality operator. Print cannot opt for license, else print can apply for license. And now this else belongs to this nested if. Now the outer condition you can give as, again go back here, and else print age below threshold. Now you could combine these expressions also. You could write as if age greater than equal to 18 and disability equal to false, then print can apply for license. So these are just some of the alternate ways of writing the same if-elif constructs. Okay, hope you have an understanding of how do we use if, elif and else. Now coming to our question of if we can write the same conditions that we are using here, right? Let me quickly make a change, and what I will do is, okay, just give me a second. What I will do, we will write the same thing using multiple if. Now you see here the if-elif construct that we wrote earlier, the same we have written using multiple if statements. Now let me tell you one thing. A program will every time check for the if condition. It will check all the if conditions that are available within the program. However, in the case of elif and else, the conditions would be evaluated only when the prior conditions are evaluated as false. Here, for example, when you take the aggregator 76, this condition is false. That is why elif shall be evaluated. However, in this condition is false, the second if is evaluated, but the third if statement would also be evaluated. So there are additional computational costs associated with using multiple if statements, hence making it slower in evaluation. Therefore, if, elif, else is a much faster, much more efficient way that is used in Python. Hope you have answered to your question. Hope you learned something new, enjoyed the lecture and had a smooth learning experience. See you in the next lecture, and if you liked the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Jai Hind.